Hello, in the earlier part, in the first chapter, we have seen economic development of the country. In the second chapter, we have seen the sectors of the Indian economy, money, and credit. In the third chapter, we have seen all the matters of the economy we are trying to see since last year. So, the journey is on the last step. With this chapter, we are going to see the next part of the economy, that is the globalization. The term is very important nowadays. You are listening it again and again. Many times you have listened this, the globalization. I don't know whether you knew the meaning or not. So the meaning of globalization and its impact on the Indian economy, the relation with the Indian economy, all these things we are going to study in this chapter. So first, we will try to understand the changes in the life of us, how it happened, which thing is responsible for these changes. These all things we are going to see in the initial part. Before 20 to 30 years, the availability of goods in a market was not more in today's way. Today, you are looking different models of computer, different models of mobile, phone, then pen, compass boxes, notebooks, vehicle, different everything. We are having choices here to look material, different goods. But before 20 to 30 years, this was not. When your parents were in childhood or in your age, very few pen companies were available in a market. That pen only they were using. Very few companies of notebook were available. That only they were using. But now the picture is changed. Yesterday's model today become old. Today's model become old tomorrow. So every day there are changes in a same company's model also. So the transformation of these changes, the transformation of the market in this period, how could happen, that we are going to see in this chapter. In a matter of years, our market have been transformed. In a very short period, the market is transformed. How do we understand these things? How do we understand this rapid transformation? What are the factors that are bringing about these changes, and how are these changes affecting the lives of the people? We shall going to look the answers of these questions on this next part or in this chapter. First, we will see the point production across countries. How the production nowadays taking to the across countries in the different parts of the countries. Production across countries. This is the first point we will see. We are looking the transformation in the market, the availability of the goods in the market, multiple availability of the goods in the market. How could it happen? That first we are going to see. Until the mid of the 20th century, production was largely organized within countries. Till the last century, the production was taking place in one country's inside border. The particular production, all things were assembled in a one inside of the one border only. Trade was there, communication also was there, but the goods, the material were produced inside of one country's border. It was happening until the 20th century. In the last decades 2 decades of the 20th century, the picture is changed. How this changed, we will see. What crossed the boundaries of these countries were raw material. The things were happening, tradings were happening, but what was transforming? The raw material, foodstuff, and finished products. For example, the raw material from India to European countries were transformed or traded. And the fine material, fine goods were imported from the European countries. The production was taking place inside of one country's boundary. This is the meaning of here. Then, how this picture changed? When this picture changed, we will look. This was before the large companies were coming on the scene. The large companies, when come on a scene, or emerged till here, this picture was having. The multinational corporation companies emerged in the 20th century, in the last decade of the 20th century on the scene. This is the multinational companies. This is in short called MNC. What is the MNC? MNC is that company which manage, control the production of one commodity from the different nations or the different countries. Many nations, it's controlled by one company. That is why it is called multinational company. MNC is a company that owns, what is MNC? We'll look here. MNC is a company that owns or controls production in a more than one nation. The control or the owning area asset of this company is more than one nation, and the production is also controlled from the different nation is also part of the multinational company. This is called multinational company. In short, MNCs it's are called. A MNC is a company that owns or controls production in more than one nation. Its area is a large throughout the world. Maybe it is a producing material in the India. Its offices are in the USA. It transforms these goods to the China. So the multinational activities, the activities of one production, different activities of the one production taken place in the different nations through the multinational companies. That companies are called multinational company. With example, we will see it, how could they are working here. MNC set up office and factories in that region where they get the labor and the cheap material, the raw material in the cheap cost. MNC set up offices and factories for production in regions where they can get cheap labor and other resources. MNC will set up their offices and the factories where they are having the availability of the labor on a cheap rate and other resources. In that region only, the MNC will work. This is done why this MNC is setting up their offices in which region they are getting the labor on a cheap rate and the raw material or the other resources are there available on a cheap cost or the cheap rate, because these MNCs are private companies. And we know you have studied with the different ways the private companies always try to earn more profit. So wherever they get the cheap labor and cheap the cheap cost the resources, it helps them to make the material on the low cost. It reduces the high cost and make possibility of the more profit. That is why these companies establish their offices in that region where the labor is having on the cheap rate and the other resources are also available. I hope you are understanding these things, what is the MNC and where they establish their offices and their factories. With the next example, again we are trying to say, we are trying to learn how the MNC works here. One example is given here, we will see it. Here is example given, spreading of production by an MNC. How the MNC is working, it is given here. A large MNC producing industrial equipment designs its products in research centers in the United States. One MNC is here. It is producing industrial equipment, designs products in research centers in the United States. The research center of this company is located in the United States. It's producing its industrial equipment in USA. Now we look, and then has the component manufactured in the China. The remaining component manufactured in the China. These are then shipped to Mexico and Eastern Europe, where the products are assembled and finished products are sold all over the world. This is the working of this MNC. One part of this company is located in USA, another part is located in China. Then assembly is happening again Mexico and in the European nation, and bringing market from these nations. Meanwhile, again, these companies' communication offices are established located in the India. So in the 4-5 nations are engaged, busy in one product, and it is controlled by one company. That is why these companies are called MNC. Meanwhile, the company's customer care is carried out through call centers located in India. So in this way, one MNC is working. This is one example given here. With these examples, I hope you will understand very well what is the MNC and how the products on a large scale are available in the market. This is one reason, the control of the MNC, production by the MNC. We have seen here in the earlier years, the production of one material, one commodity was taking place inside of one country's boundary. But now with this example we have seen, one commodity is here, one material is here, but for it, the production, the offices are located in the different places, different locations. I hope you understand the MNC and its work. With these examples, we have seen the MNC is not only so the company is not only producing the production or the commodity, the goods, and it is producing the services also in the particular country. The goods and services are produced globally. As a result, production is organized in an increasingly complex way. It produces goods and services globally. Many countries are involved in one production. This production is organized in an increasingly complex way. This is organized in a complex way. This is not easy task, but the multinational companies are doing it. The production process is divided into small parts and spread out across the globe. In the above example, China provides the advantage of being a cheap manufacturing location. Mexico and Eastern Europe are useful for their closeness to the markets. In the US and Europe, India has highly skilled engineers who can understand the technical aspects of the production. It also has educated English-speaking youth who can provide customer care services And all these probably can means 50 to 60% cost saving for the MNC. When MNC is assembling these things on this level in the complex way, they earns they are saving 50 to 60 cost of the production. The advantage of spreading out production across the borders to the multinational can truly immense. The multinational companies are working very immense in this manner. So in this way, the complex matters are handled by these large companies. We have seen in this part what is the MNC and how they works their function again in detail we are going to see in the next part in the next point.